Hi, good evening, friends. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to my next session on the YouTube channel of gradeup. Now, friends, today we are going to take the life of a simple equation. Okay. Now we are going to discuss the basics of simple equations. Simple equations, the other name that can be given to simple equations is linear equations. All right. So we are going to take on the discussion where we'll be talking about the basics of simple equations, the different types of simple equations, and then the different ways of solving simple equations. Now, followed by that, we'll be taking on some of the wonderful questions that generally we get stuck on. Okay, so let's start with this particular thing, life of a simple equation. Now, the first thing here is what is a simple equation? Okay, now what is a simple equation? Like I mentioned that a simple equation can also be termed as a linear equation. So what is basically that thing? Now I'll explain the definition, or I'll explain linear equation by taking an example of a linear equation in two variable. Okay, so let us consider this example: 2x plus 3y equal to 6. Now this equation is a linear equation or a simple equation if the highest degree of this equation is 1. Now, what do I mean by degree? Okay, what do I mean by degree of an equation? Okay, degree of an equation. All right. Now, the degree is basically the powers of the variables that are involved in simple terms. So you can see that on the left hand side of this equation, I have two terms which are 2x and 3y. They are separated by a plus sign. Okay, so now each of these terms, if I look at the first term, that is 2x, so I can say that the power of x here is 1. Also in this term 3y, again the power of y is 1. So this power basically determines the degree of each of these coefficients, okay, of each of these variables, and hence this will determine the degree of the entire equation. Okay, so I can see here that the highest degree of all these terms is equal to 1. So if the highest degree of the equation is 1, I can say that the equation is a linear equation. All right. Okay. Now, if I pick this equation, which is in two variables right now, and will plot it on the xy plane, if I'll plot it on the xy plane, then every linear equation in two variables will give you a straight line. Okay, so the graph of this linear equation, which is in two variables, will always give you a straight line when it is plotted on the xy plane. All right, so basically if I look at the standard form of a linear equation in two variables, it can be written as ax plus by plus c equal to 0, where x and y are the variables. So x and y, these are variables. All right, and a, b, and c, these are the constants. Now the values of a, b, and c, it may vary. Okay, so they may be integral, they may be non-integral values, they may take positive values, they may be negative as well. Okay, so a, b, and c are constants and x and y are the variables. So this is basically the standard form of a linear equation in two variables. All right, now note down the standard form. This will be used very frequently in this topic. All right. Okay, now if I look at different types of linear equations, so talking about linear equation in one variable, I can say that I have used only one variable in this given example, 3x plus 11 equal to 23. So x is the only variable that is used. Another example, linear equations in two variables. Okay, so 3x plus 7y equal to 21. Linear equation in three variables, 2x plus 5y plus 3z equal to 29. Now likewise, in a linear equation, there can be any number of variables. Okay, so number of variables as far as linear equations are concerned, it is not at all restricted. So you may make linear equation using 20 variables as well. Okay, that doesn't matter. the number of variables that you will use, okay, but the highest degree of the equation has to be 1 in order to qualify the equation for a linear equation. All right, okay. Now, any problem, any question up till this point? Anyone? Okay, so Nikita, yes, you are late. Fine, no problem at all. I hope you haven't missed anything important. All right. Okay. So, friends, those who are watching this session, any problem up till this point, you may write in the comment section and I will answer to that query. Okay. Now, let's move ahead and look at some other things. So, basically, number of solutions or the roots of any simultaneous equations. Simultaneous equation means if two equations are given to us together. So we are looking at the number of solutions. Right now I'm not solving the equations, but I'm just looking at the number of solutions whenever two equations are given and both these equations are in two variables. Okay, so right now we'll be dealing with linear equations in two variables. Okay, now let's say in general we are given two equations. Okay, so general form of these two equations can be written as a1x plus b1y equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y equal to c2, where a1, b1, c1 and a2, b2 and c2 are the are the constants. So a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 are the constants and x and y are the variables. Okay. Now if we are solving these two equations simultaneously, the number of solution the number of solutions that these two equations will have will depend upon the ratio of these coefficients. Okay, so let us elaborate this particular fact. So I'll take an example of two equations. So let's say 6x plus 9y equal to 20 is one equation, and the other equation is 9x plus 13.5y equal to 30. Okay, now calculate the respective ratios of A1 and A2, then B1 and B2, and then C1 and C2. Okay, so if I look at A1 upon A2, so A1 upon A2 is 6 divided by 9. All right, we'll look at B1 upon B2. So B1 upon B2 will be 9 upon 13.5. Now, if you look at the values of these two ratios, they are equal. So 6 upon 9 is equal to 9 upon 13.5, which in turn is also equal to 20 upon 30. Okay, now if you simplify these ratios, all of them will come out to be equal to 2 divided by 3, 2 upon 3. All right. Now look at these ratios once again. Okay, yes, Nikita, don't worry. I will be solving some of the equations, but in the later part of this session. Okay, so if you look at the ratios of the coefficients, so a1 upon a2, which is 6 upon 9, is equal to 2 by 3. 9 upon 13.5 is also equal to 2 upon 3, and 20 upon 30 is also equal to 2 upon 3. So I can say that the ratio of A1 upon A2, B1 upon B2 and C1 upon C2, all three of them are equal. So A1 upon A2 equals B1 upon B2 is also equal to C1 upon C2, right? Okay. Now, if we plot two equations which are given here on the XY plane, if we plot these two equations on the XY plane, then the number of point of intersection of these two lines will give us the number of solutions. Okay, so this is one way of looking at the number of solutions. Okay, so 6x plus 9y equal to 20 and 9x plus 13.5y equals 30. If we'll plot both these lines on the XY plane, then the point of intersection of these two lines will give us the number of solutions or the number of roots of these two equations. Okay, Now, if you'll plot these two lines, you will observe that these two lines will overlap each other because these two equations are actually same. Okay, so if you look at both these equations, they are actually same as the ratio of their coefficients is equal. Okay, so in such a case, when the ratio of the coefficients is equal, then you will get the lines which are overlapping each other. Now, if these two lines are overlapping each other, then you can say that every point that is lying on these equations will be, every point that will lie on these lines will be the solution of both these equations. Okay, so in such a scenario, we can say that there will be infinite number of solutions for these two equations. Okay, so the first thing that can be noted is, if a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 and is also equal to c1 upon c2, then the number of solutions for the two equations in two variables will be infinite. All right. So this is the first case, the first example that you need to understand. If all the three ratios are equal, then the number of solutions is infinite. All right. Okay. Now let's move ahead and look at another example. So let's consider these two equations, 4x plus 7y equal to 10 and 10x plus 17.5y equals to 30. Again, I'll calculate all the ratios. So first ratio is 4 upon 10. So 4 upon 10, I can simplify it and write it as 2 upon 5. Okay. Now the second ratio is 7 upon 17.5. Okay, upon simplifying it, I can write it as 70 upon 175. Okay, I'm elaborating each and everything so that none of you will have any kind of problem. Okay, so 70 upon 175, and after you will take out 35 common, it will again become 2 upon 5. Okay, so both the ratios a1 upon a2 and b1 upon b2 are equal. Okay, so this is what I have written, 4 upon 10 and 7 upon 17.5 are equal, but this is not equal to the third ratio. This is not equal to 10 upon 30. All right, so what condition do I have here? A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2, but these two ratios are not equal to the third ratio, which is C1 upon C2. All right. So this is the condition that I have got. Now, if you try to plot these two lines on the XY plane, you will get two parallel lines. So if you'll plot this type of lines on the XY plane, the resulting two lines will be parallel to each other and they will not intersect at any point. Now, since there is no point of intersection here, then I can say that these system of equations have no solution. All right, so there is no solution for this type of equations. So the second condition that you may remember is, if a1 upon a2 equals b1 upon b2 and it is not equal to the third ratio, then the system of equations will have no solution. All right. Okay. So we have seen two cases up till this point. We have seen two cases. Case number one was, if a1 upon a2 is equal to b1 upon b2 and is equal to c1 upon c2. This was case one. Case two was, if a1 upon a2 equals b1 upon b2 and is not equal to c1 upon c2. So these are the two cases we have seen. Okay. Now, if you'll observe, in both cases, the first two ratios are equal. The first two ratios are equal. If the third ratio is also equal, we will have infinite solutions. If the third ratio is not equal to the first two ratios, then we will have no solution. Okay, but in both cases the first two ratios are equal. Okay, so I can say that if the first two ratios are equal, if a1 upon a2 and b1 upon b2 are equal, then we'll either have infinite solutions or will have no solutions. All right. So, my dear friends, what should be the condition to obtain unique solution? What is the condition to obtain unique solution? Let us have a look at it in example number 3. So in this example, I'm taking these two equations. So I can say that if the first two ratios are not equal, then we will obtain unique solution. All right. So if I'll calculate the ratios, 6 upon 13 is not equal to 9 upon 15. Okay. So A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2. This is neither the condition for infinite solutions nor is the condition for no solution. So if we don't have infinite solutions, if we don't have no solution, then there is only one situation that is left. We will have unique solution. Okay. Now, if we'll plot this type of lines, if we plot this type of equations on the xy plane, then what will we get? We will get intersecting lines. Okay, so we'll get two lines which are intersecting at unique point, and this unique point will be treated as the unique solution for this set of equations. Okay, so the third condition that you may remember is if A1 upon A2 is not equal to B1 upon B2, that will be the condition for unique solution. Okay, fine. Now, any problem up till this point? Anyone? So students who are watching this session, if you have any problem till now, you can ask me, else I'll continue and we'll have a look at a way of solving two equations in two variables. Okay. All right. Nikita is asking why you took 70 upon 175. Nikita, in that example, it was 7 divided by 17.5. All right, Nikita. So 17.5 was in the denominator. So what I have done is just to simplify this ratio, I have multiplied both numerator and denominator by 10. Okay. So 70 upon 175. 7 upon 7.5 can be written as 70 upon 175. Okay. Clear, Nikita? Now, another thing, Nikita, in this case, so in the example 3, you are talking about the third ratio C1 and C1 upon C2. So Nikita, C1 upon C2, there is no need to check that ratio. All right. So this condition is solely dependent on the first two ratios. So if the first two ratios are not equal, then there will be unique solution. No need to look at C1 upon C2. All right. Okay. Now friends, let's move ahead and look at the solving of linear equations using a method of elimination. Okay. Now a very basic method is what we use. Okay. And if you are basically sitting for any of the entrance examinations which will test you on your aptitude, then this is one of the best method, one of the fastest method that can be used to find out the solution. Okay. So I'll start by taking an example. So let's say the equation is 2x plus 3y equals 7, and another equation is 5x plus 4y equals 9. Okay. Now these are the two equations that are given to us. Now if you check the ratios, first ratio is 2 upon 5, second ratio is 3 upon 4. Now since these two ratios are not equal, I can say that this system of equations will have unique solution. All right. Now let's find this unique solution now. Okay. Now the method that we'll be using here is elimination method that I've already mentioned. So elimination method will be used. In this method, I will try to eliminate one of the two variables. So I have two variables here, x and y. So I'll eliminate one of the two variables. Okay. So if one variable is eliminated, I'll be left with only one variable, that is the other variable. So if I'll obtain an equation in a single variable, then I can easily solve the equation for that variable. All right. So let's try and eliminate variable x. Okay. All right. Now to eliminate x, what I'll do is I'll multiply the first equation by the coefficient of x of the second equation. So I'll multiply the first equation by 5 and I'll multiply entirely the second equation by 2. Now the resulting equation, so equation number 1 will become 10x plus 15y equals 35. All right. And the second equation can be written as 10x plus 8y equals 18. All right. So I have multiplied first equation by 5 and second equation by 2. Now, what was the purpose of multiplying the first and the second equation by these numbers? If you'll observe the resulting equations, in the resulting equations, the coefficient of x is same in both the equations. Okay, so now I can subtract these two equations and I'll be successfully able to eliminate variable x. So equation number 1 minus equation number 2. If you'll perform this subtraction, so 10x minus 10x, nothing will be left here. 15y minus 8y, I will have 7y on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I will have 35 minus 18, that is 17. So the value of y will be equal to 17 upon 7. All right, am I clear? So I have used elimination method and I have calculated the value of y. All right, you could have eliminated x, you could have eliminated y as well. All right, so here I have eliminated x and I have got the value of y. All right. Now further, you may pick this value of y and substitute in one of these two equations. You may substitute the value of y in equation this or this to find the value of x. So I'll pick this equation, that is 2x plus 3y equals 7. I'll substitute the value of y here. So it will become 2x plus 3 multiplied by 17 upon 7. So 17 into 3 is 51 upon 7 equal to 7. So the value of 2x will be equal to 7 minus 51 upon 7. That is equal to minus 2 upon 7. All right. So I have obtained 2x equals minus 2 upon 7 and hence x will be equal to minus 1 upon 7. So this is the value of x that I'll get. So this is the unique solution. Minus 1 upon 7 and 17 upon 7 are the respective values of x and y. All right. I'll give you 30 seconds in case you have any question to ask. You may ask it by writing your question in the comment box. So there is a live chat that is going on. Okay, so wait, Nikita. So Nikita, what I have done is I have just substituted the value of y. Okay, so this portion, I might be blocking this portion. So I've just substituted the value of y. This is what you can do and you will get your answer. Okay. All right, friends. So let's move ahead. So this is the basic way of solving linear equation in two variables. All right. Now let's move ahead and look at some of the questions that you will frequently see in your examinations. So I have taken three different type of questions. All right. So question number 1, the basic question which is based on finding ages of two people. Okay. Now let's have a look at this one. The question says that A is 30 years older than B. Okay. Now focus on the tenses here. Yes, your verbal ability should be good. So A is, so basically they are talking about the relation between the ages of A and B at present. So this is the present relation between the ages of A and B. All right. So what I do is I generally make a table like this. So we have two people, A and B, in the story. All right. If I look at the relation between their present ages, so I can say that A is 30 years older than B. So if the present age of B is X, so the present age of A will be equal to X plus 30. Now A is 30 years older than B. Alright. So if present age of B is X, then the present age of A will become X plus 30. Now they're talking about the next scenario, which is 4 years ago. Now 4 years ago, so obviously 4 years ago, their ages will be 4 less than the present ages. So the age of A will become X plus 30 minus 4, and age of B will become X minus 4. So I have subtracted 4 from these two ages. So age of A is X plus 26 and age of B is X minus 4, and these two ages are the ages 4 years ago. Now what is the given relation between these ages? Now the given relation, okay, wait, I'll write all these things once again. Okay, I may be blocking your view, so I'll write it once again. Sanket, you have a question. So Sanket, wait for a few minutes. Let me finish some of these questions and I'll definitely answer your query. Okay? All right. Now I'll start this question once again on the other side. So A and B, if I'll talk about their present ages. So present ages, I'll consider X for B. So X plus 30 will be the present age of A. Now a scenario which is 4 years ago. So I'll subtract 4 from both these ages. So age of A was X plus 26 and B's age was X minus 4 years ago. Now the relation between their ages is A was thrice the age of B. So the age of B is the age of A was 3 times the age of B. So I can write it as X plus 26 is equal to 3 times X minus 4. Simple. All right. Now you have only one variable here. You may take the variable on one side, you may take the constants on the other side and get the value of X. All right. So I can write it as 2X is equal to 26 plus 12, that is 38. So the value of X will be equal to 19. All right. Now the question is, how old is A? So basically they are asking us to calculate the present age of A. Now the present age of A is X plus 30. So your answer will be 19 plus 30, that is 49. So 49 will be your final answer. All right. Am I clear? Okay, great. So this was a very basic question. So this is just a step-by-step procedure how to solve such type of questions which are related to the ages. So what I have done is I've made a simple table. Okay, I've written the present ages, the relation between them. I've written the ages which are 4 years ago. Again, written the relation between them. And using the given relation, which was A was thrice the age of B, I have made an equation. All right, and got the value of X. Okay. Great. Now let's move on to the next question. Now, which bothers us a lot. Now, this is a difficult question. Yes, Kalavati, welcome to the session. Okay. So, the next question on your screen. Now, this is one question that is considered as a very confusing question. Okay. Now, let us spend good amount of time on this one. The question says that Simran takes a two-digit number. She then reverses it and subtracts the result from the original number. I'll stop here. Okay. Just read the first line of this question. Simran takes a two-digit number. So let's say the number that she has taken is XY. Okay. Y is the digit at units place. Okay, and x is the digit at tens place. All right. So x and y are the digits at tens place and units place respectively. All right. So the number that she has assumed is x, y. Now, if we are forming the number using variables like x and y, so as a rule of number system, what we do is we multiply the digits at their respective places with the place values of that place and then add them and we will obtain the number. For example, let's say there is a number 435. Now to obtain this number, I'll multiply 5, which is the digit at units place, by 1, this by 10 and this by 100. Okay, so 4 into 100 plus 3 into 10 plus 5 into 1, 400 plus 30 plus 5, I will get 435. All right, which was the number originally. Now, what if the number is written in the form of a variable? So let's do it for a 3-digit number, x, y, z. So we write it as 100x plus 10y plus z. Okay, so this is how we represent a 3-digit number which is written in the form of variables. All right, so can you tell me how will you write this 2-digit number as? Anyone? So Nikita, Kalavati, Sanket, how will you write this 2-digit number as? All right, so let me write it. So if you have a 2-digit number, which is xy, so this number will be written as 10x plus y when we are using this number in the equations. Okay, so Simran takes a 2-digit number, which is xy. All right, she then reverses this number. So let's say the number formed by reversing is yx and can be taken as 10y plus x while we are dealing with this number in the equations. Good, Kalavati, Tanush, Nikita, all three of you were correct. Okay, so this is the original number n, and another number formed by reversing the digits is yx. Okay. Now after reversing it, what she is doing is she subtracts the result from the original number. So basically she will calculate n minus m. She's subtracting m from n. She's subtracting the resulting number from the original number. Let's do the same thing. So 10x plus y minus 10y plus x. This is what she has done. And in the form of x and y, the result that I'll obtain will be 9x minus 9y. I'll write it as 9 times x minus y. Okay. Now let's read further. Getting 54 as her answer. So she reverses the number, subtracts the result from the original number, and the result that she will obtain is 54. So this value is 54. Now from here I can get the value of x minus y, which is equal to 6. Now this is one equation that I have obtained. All right. Now we don't have any other data in the question that will give us another equation. So what will I do? I have only one equation. So what I'll do is I'll try to find out the possible values of x and y. Okay. Now to find the possible values of x and y, what we need to see is in a 2-digit number comprising x, y as the digits at tens and units place, what can be the possible values of x and y? Then I will consider this equation and will shortlist those values. Okay. Now in a 2-digit number, at the leftmost place, 0 cannot come. Okay, so the value of x can be from 1 up till 9. So 1 से लेके 9 तक x की कोई भी वैल्यू हो सकती है. Similarly, at the units place 0 may also come. So tens place can be filled by a value starting from 0 up till 9. Okay, now we have to select the values of x and y such that x minus y is equal to 6. Okay, I'll give you few seconds. Can you give me one set of value of x and y such that x minus y is equal to 6? Come on, all of you. So Kalavati, Tanush, Nikita, go ahead. All right. So if I look at one set of value of x and y, that will give me x minus y as 6. So I'll start with the highest value of x. Okay. So I'll go by the solution that is provided to me by Surya Kiran. Good. So I'll start with the highest value of x. Highest value of x that can be taken is 9. And the value of y correspondingly can be 3. So I can say that 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. Yes, it is satisfying. Now you can keep decreasing the value of x. So if you take x as 8, y will become 2. If you take x as 7, y will become 1. If you will take x as 6, y will become 0. Okay. So this value of xy will give you the value of the original number as 93. This value give you 82, 71, and finally 60. Okay. Now let's look at the last statement. What was the question that they were asking? So question was, how many values of two-digit numbers are possible which Simran took initially? So what will be the answer for this question? So there are four numbers which are possible: 93, 82, 71, and 60. So answer for this question will be equal to 4. All right. So that is the final answer. Any doubt, any problem, anything you want to ask regarding this question? Come on. Okay, so Nikita, good. So I was expecting this question from your side. Okay, so Nikita is asking me, should we consider 60 as one of the answers? Now, Nikita, Simran takes a two-digit number. So if this two-digit number is 60, she then reverses it. So after reversing, you will get 06, okay? Or 6, okay? So after reversing, you will get 06. Now the difference between 60 and 6 is 54. The only thing is the number formed by reversing the original number need not be a two-digit number. Okay, they have never mentioned it. So they started by saying that Simran takes a two-digit number, she then reverses it. So the number formed by reversing the original number may or may not be a two-digit number. All right. So this is one of the answers, the second, the third, and the fourth. So 93, 82, 71, and 60. These are the four possible values of the original number that Simran has taken initially. All right. Okay. Now, friends, let's move on to the next question. Again, I have picked this question from previous year CAT paper. And again, this question is one of the difficult question that you will encounter while you are studying. Okay. Now, let's read this question with me. A question says that a gentleman decided to treat a few children in the following manner. So he has some toffees, okay, and he is giving these toffees, he's distributing the toffees to these people in a particular manner. Okay, let's see what is the manner that he's using. He gives half of his total stock of toffees Okay, he gives half of his total stock of toffees and one extra to the first child. So first child came to him, whatever stock he has initially, he will first of all give half of his stock and then one extra toffee to the first child. Then half of the remaining stock along with one extra to the second child, and he continued giving away in this fashion. It is given that his stock will be exhausted after he takes care of a total of 5 children. Okay, so after giving the toffees to 5 children in the above manner, his stock of toffees is exhausted. That means after covering 5 children, after taking care of 5 children, he is left with 0 toffees. Okay, now we have to find out how many toffees were there in his stock initially. Okay, now different people will tell you different methods to solve this question. Okay, similarly, I'll tell you one more method to solve this question. But like in my career of last 15 years of teaching, I can say that the method that I'm going to tell you is the most efficient method of solving this question. Okay, so I hope all of you must have understood what actually the question is. Now let's have a look at how to solve this type of question. Okay, I'll start with a very basic thing. Okay, so I'm not directly jumping on the solution of this question, but I'm just looking at the basic things that you need to take care while solving these questions. Okay, now let's assume that X is the initial number of toffees that this person has. Now he will give some toffees to a child and then he'll be left with some toffees. Okay, so out of X, if he'll give some toffees, then he'll be left with the remaining number of toffees. Okay, so if he will give half of his stock, if he will give half of his stock, then obviously he'll be left with half of the original stock. So अगर उसने half stock दे दिया है तो उसके पास कितना stock बचेगा? He'll be left with half of the stock. Okay, so if he has given x by 2, he will be left with x by 2. Likewise, in some questions they may say that if he will give 1/3 of his stock, if he'll give 1/3 of his stock, then obviously he'll be left with 2/3 of the stock. All right, similarly, if he'll give 3/4 of the stock, he'll be left with 1/4 of the stock. So this particular thing is what you need to take care. Okay, I've just explained you taking 3 different possibilities that may arise in a question. Okay, so if I'm giving half of the original stock, I'll be left with half of the original stock. Second case is if I'll give 1/3 of the original stock, then I'll be left with 2/3 of the original stock. The third case I've taken is if I'll give 3/4 of the original stock, I'll be left with 1/4 of the original stock. All right, am I clear? Yes or no? All right, now let's take this further. The question says that he gives half of his total stock and one extra toffee. So if he will give one toffee more than half of his original stock, then he will be left with one toffee less than half of his original stock. Okay, so if he'll increase the number of toffees that he's giving by 1, so the number of toffees which are left will decrease by 1. Similarly, if he has given 1/3 and then he is giving, let's say, 2 more toffees, then he'll be left with 2 by 3x minus 2. All right. Third case, if he is giving 3/4 of the original toffees and taking 3 toffees back. So if he is giving 3 less than 3/4 of the original stock, then he'll be left with 1/4 plus 3 toffees. All right, am I clear to each and every one of you? So I'll just give you some side so that you can look at the screen properly. All right, okay. Great. So I hope all of you are clear up till this point. Okay. So this is one of the fundamentals of this type of questions. Okay. Great. So you may note it down so that I can go ahead and you can have a look at it. All right. So I hope all of you have noted whatever we have done till now. Let's solve this question. Okay. So initially, let us assume that the number of toffees this person has is X. Now he'll give some toffees and he'll be left with some toffees. So to the first child, he is giving one more than half the number of toffees that he originally had. So he'll be left with x by 2 minus 1. Alright, so this is the first step. He has given x by 2 plus 1. So he'll be left with x by 2 minus 1 number of toffees. Okay, I'll assume this value as A. So that means A is the number of toffees that he's left with after taking care of the first child. Alright, fine. Now let's talk about the second child. Now, since when second child arrived, the number of toffees, the remaining number of toffees is A. Okay, so to the second child, he will give A by 2 plus 1 and he'll be left with A by 2 minus 1. Assume that this value is B. Alright, okay. Now, you can keep repeating this step. So if the number of toffees left after second child is B, so third child will receive B by 2 plus 1, B by 2 plus 1, and the leftover number of toffees will be B by 2 minus 1. Assume that this is equal to C. Now there is no need to write the number of toffees that he is giving. You can just directly keep on writing the number of toffees that he is left with. Okay, so at the next step, the number of toffees that he'll be left with will be C by 2 minus 1. Assume that is equal to D. And at the last step, number of toffees that he's left with is D by 2 minus 1. Alright, we'll stop at this point because the question is saying that he's taking care of 5 such children. Okay, fine. Okay, now moving ahead, Nikita, do you understand it now? Nikita, do you understand it now? Okay. So now after he takes care of 5 such children, he is not left with anything. Okay. So I can say that the number of toffees which are left after the 5th child is equal to 0. Okay. So I have now equated this thing as 0. Okay. Now let's do the backtracking. Let's find the value of D from here. Okay, so if D by 2 minus 1 is equal to 0, if D by 2 minus 1 is equal to 0, so to solve the value of D, I'll write it here, D by 2 minus 1 is equal to 0. So minus 1 will go on the right hand side, it will become 1 and then 2 will be multiplied. So the value of D will be equal to 2. Alright, so I'll substitute it in the previous step, the value of D as 2. Now using this, you can find the value of C. So value of C will be 2 plus 1, that is 3, multiplied by 2, which is 6. Okay, so value of C will be 6. How I have calculated this value? 1 will go to the right hand side and then 2 will be multiplied. Similar thing will be repeated once again. So 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. So the value of B is 14. Now let's calculate the value of A. A will be 14 plus 1, that is 15. Multiply by 2, that is 30. So the value of A is 30. And finally we'll get the value of X. So 30 plus 1 is 31. Multiplied by 2 is 62. So I can say that the value of x will be equal to 62. All right. So in such a question, there is no need to make some heavy calculations. There is no need to make some difficult or complex equations. You can just do this question by writing these small steps, just by writing these very simple equations and the relations. Okay. So Vivek, no, your answer should be 62, not 70. Suryakiran, yes, you have given the correct answer. Wonderful. Vivek, please check your answer, follow the steps that I have just used, and you will get a correct answer. All right, Vivek. All right, friends. So, friends, no wonder this question is the exact question, the word to word question, which came in the last year CAT examination. Okay, CAT, like we have a notion that CAT is one of the most difficult examinations, but if we know a right approach to all these questions, then this difficult examination can be made easy. Okay, so we have just solved a question that came in the CAT in the last year. All right, friends. Okay. Nikita, yes, I'll explain the calculations again. So, Nikita, it's simple. Like if you'll consider d by 2 minus 1 equal to 0, so you just have to take minus 1 on the right hand side. Okay, it will become plus 1 and then 2 will be multiplied. So the value of d is equal to 2. Okay, now if d is equal to 2, now you keep on repeating the same thing again and again. Take minus 1 on the right hand side, so it will be 2 plus 1, that is 3, and then multiplied by 2. So 3 into 2 is 6. Keep repeating this step till you will get the final value of x. All right. Okay. So friends, that is all from my side. If you like this session, please press the like button, comment, and do share and subscribe our channel. All right. I am Gourav Gupta. Okay. And I will keep on coming with such sessions almost on daily basis for all of you. Now, this is the entire schedule of lectures, the free sessions that we follow on YouTube. Okay. So this is the entire schedule for the week. So you may have a look at it and attend all the free sessions that we have for all of you on YouTube. Now, what you may do is like generally we waste a lot of time in searching for different topics that we want to attend. Okay, if we are preparing for aptitude examinations. So we have compiled a list of all the free lectures for all of you. So in the description of this lecture that is currently going on, you will find a link that will take you to one of the sheets on which we have just made a list of all the topics, and we have given the YouTube links of all those topics in front of them. So all free lectures will be there for you at one place. So whenever you want to attend a topic of any chapter, you may just click on that link on that sheet and it will redirect you to the video of that particular topic. All right. Okay. Now, some of the batches at gradeup which are already launched. So we have recently launched a batch on 13th of August, which is for the preparation of CAT 21. Okay. Now, this is basically a percentile booster course, and this is the list of mentors who are teaching in this particular batch. Now, other batches for CAT 22 and the students who are specifically preparing for SNAP, Narsi Munji, CMAT, and TISNET. So the list of all the batches is there on this screen. The different courses that we offer at gradeup. So these are some CAT courses and some courses for other MBA entrance examinations. So if you are looking for a specific batch, a specific course, so you can enroll in these batches whose details are given on this particular screen. Now this is the list of experts that we have. So you just see the amount of experience that we have among all the experts on our panel. And there are some super subscription plans that we run for CAT 21, CAT 22, and for other MBA entrance examinations. The following screen will give you the entire details of the examinations which are covered, the validity of these batches, and what all things it will include. So friends, that's all from my side. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, you can join us on Telegram. All right. So please do subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you are liking these sessions. Thank you very much from my side. Have a good day. Keep solving.